Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Wednesday, February 11th at around, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Now the water company's back, and we actually had a fairly civil exchange here. I showed them the drawings and plans I had from 2000, when the sewer people were running in the 36-inch force main, and it showed where, their water line is. Well, actually it showed two water lines, neither one of which is probably exactly positioned on the drawing. But the head of the crew out here was out here. He remembers being out here when they had the two water line breaks after this sewer line was put in, because they had to come out the following January in 2001 and repair two breaks. So he remembers being out here on that dig. So he remembers the event, and he sort of agrees with where I think this thing may be. Absent them finding it up here on the top of the bank here, they're going to go down and dig down on the bank, closer to the creek. Because the issue is, when they change the drainage configuration, that line may not be down deep enough down there by the creek, although it probably won't be an issue up here. So we shall see. Meanwhile they're starting to dig here. I'll show you a little action. Action photos here. Basically, once the place is going to get torn to hell, you may as well just lay back and enjoy it. It's sort of like, lie back and think of England, Just don't hit my internet, guys. That's all I care about. Just don't hit my internet. Go down the road here and see what we might be able to figure out. Oh, they got a man down in the hole there now. That's got to be not one of the favorite jobs. It occurs to me, maybe I better go draw some water and run it into some bottles or something. Actually, I've got about 9 liters of water in the house anyway, so 9 gallons actually. This guy's got like a T-wire, you know, that he can use as a probe. And he's trying to probe down there underneath where they've dug to see if he can find, you know, hit anything. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell whether he's finding anything or not. Looks like they're going to maybe fill some back in now, maybe, huh? Farther out here. This is where it ought to be. I mean, absent some radical change in geometry that isn't marked on these things. These lines aren't amenable to that sort of violent redirection. Well, Paul had come down to view the proceedings, and now he's retreating up back toward the house here. See, if you take where they are, and we'll go over here a bit, and then you turn 180 degrees, and you go up here. Now you see two sycamore trees right here in the center of the screen. To the left of the one on the left is where the line was unearthed in January 2001. Well, it was unearthed also in September of 2000, but it was unearthed in January of 2001 when it broke. And on another set of plans, if you run right up and you see these two houses, well, you see the little white barn, the little white shed, and the little rusty sort of crib up there. A few yards off to the right of them, that's where the line angles up by the red barn there on Powell Road. So, this is where, this is where the thing is. So if you turn 180 degrees, we're back to where they're digging. So I mean, they've got to find this at some point, I should think. Well, now they're filling it back in. I thought originally, I thought at one point they may have found this, but apparently not. And now it looks like they're going to go down over the hill a bit and maybe do some exploratory digging down there over the hill. But no, I thought maybe they had found it. I guess no luck. Now, if they just don't cut my internet. Well, they went down on the creek bank there, and they're doing a little digging down there to see if they can find anything. So they're down on the creek bank now. I can't imagine they're all that far off it. This absent these records being a complete fabrication, and absent the evidence of our eyes from 15 years ago being a complete ephemeral brain seizure. It's got to be there somewhere. Stuff like this that makes you doubt your own senses sometimes. Looks like they may have found something, because the guy was putting that T-bar finder down in there, and he was actually then hitting something, and he's doing a little confirmation there again. I think they may have found what they're looking for. Crew chief's going up here to get another lay of the land here, so to speak. Behind the tree there now. Pondering, 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 pondering. Well, I just spoke with the crew chief, and they indeed did find the water line down there over the bank. And he said if you sort of shoot a line between where he's got his shovel, the pink handled shovel, and where the hoe part of the backhoe is, if you shoot that line, in a straight line, and you go up this way, then you get an idea of where the water line might be. That would actually put it underneath the sycamore tree there on the right, which is certainly quite possible. I could have completely misremembered, but it was in that hole. That whole area was unearthed when that water line broke in January 2001. So if it's in line where that right sycamore tree is, then indeed that's an accurate find. And as he pointed out, he says it's got to be underneath the gas line here, because they've got the gas line marked pretty well. And I was here when they put in the gas line, and I saw every inch of that put in, and we never laid eyes on the water line except up here. And the water line's over the gas line at this point, but this crew chief was saying that means the water line's got to be underneath the gas line here. And when I saw the gas line put in this particular spot on my property, we didn't see the gas line or the water line. So that's probably very accurate. The little pipe cutting to mark the line there, I think. Now you can see a white piece of pipe there, polyvinyl chloride pipe that they've stuck right down over top of their gas line, not gas line, their water line, while they're filling in their hole there that they dug. And I think they're going to come up and try to find this thing underneath the gas line, which God forbid they hit the gas line, but maybe they'll just call this square for the day. Hard to say. We shall see. Meanwhile, while these guys are coming back up the hill, Paul and I went and delivered his little knee trolley to the knee trolley store this morning. And yeah, we went and I bought some gas and he went in and bought some cigarettes, and then we went over and mailed a letter for him. And then I went over to Walmart and bought a case of Coke, Diet Coke, and a case of beer for him. And came back to the truck to find that he had smoked a cigarette, outside the truck. But when he was sitting in the truck, it smelled like he had smoked a cigarette inside the truck. I wasn't happy, but we got home safely, so there it is. Meanwhile, I think this guy's working his way up the hill. He might still be filling in the hole. No, he's still down there pounding and filling in the hole. Oh, the guy took his shovel away though. Huh. Maybe they're not going to dig up here by the gas line. I sincerely hope they don't. He's going down the road. They're leaving. They're done. Well, that's just as well. Absent them getting Columbia Gas out here on either valve on either end of this line to be prepared to cut it off if they hit it. The prudence being the better part of valor. I mean, they're 90% certain that this water line is underneath the gas line, so there's really no point trying to expose it. I mean, they know it's deep. Deep is good. In this case, deep means they probably don't have to relocate it. Certainly means they don't have to relocate it up here in sort of the living area where we are. So, mission accomplished today by Delco Water with a civil and expected degree of courtesy. So I'm going to give them a thumbs up and a thanks for, assuming they have to locate their stuff, and I assume they do. Today they did it with a minimum of disruption. So, good. And I guess that's all I have to say. Home safe by the grace of God. All righty. Bye-bye, YouTubers.